Hello, I'm Girlfield, and this is Brennan.
And this is John Arbuckle, and we're back. We're back for more magic. How are you, Girlfield?
Hungry as ever?
Well, that's good because today's episode is sponsored by our sponsor, lasagna. Lasagna tastes so good you'll never want to eat anything else again, and you won't. So we're actually just back from the 7th consecutive Pioneer Championships that we've won. We're pretty proud. We're winners again. It kind of gets boring after a while, to be honest, winning that much.
Yeah.
But be that as it may, today we're here with decks. So now we're not just opening things, we're actually creating helpful, useful, pure 100 uncut content. And today's content is 2 decks. One is...
Well, you'll be introducing first?
Is Kenrith, the Returned King. He back. And
then mine will be Alela, the Artful Provocateur.
But before we do that,
yes.
we've got a little, we've been talking, conversing, discussing.
Every now and then.
Plotting, scheming, dreaming.
When we can.
And we've got some ideas coming up, so we thought we'd preview them. First off is
Well, as you can tell, I'm practicing an accent for just pronouncing the name of our commander. But that's because we're going to be traveling and taking a little bit of a trip soon, and we thought maybe we'd do a destination opening and treat all of you not just to the beautiful sights of the cards, but the more three-dimensional grandeur that we can offer.
So yes, we're going to do a destination opening. How maybe cool is that? We'll find out.
And where maybe cool will that be?
Where may we be maybe cool? You'll see maybe.
You'll find out.
Yeah, and then we also have an interesting opening coming up. And in this case, we got something from Goodwill. We got a little tip that there was a thing at Goodwill. And so, well, a whole heaping host of resplendent boxes. Don't worry, it wasn't as much money as it looks like. It's probably going to be a lot of bulk, but
yeah, but we'll hopefully unearth some diamonds in here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 opportunities for something to happen.
And that's going to be when we get back from our excursion. So that's some stuff coming up. But for now, let me introduce you to this deck. It's Kenrith. And the theme that I went with for this is Knights and Dragons. And I did so also with all the colors of the Mana Rainbow. So hope you like it. I'm really proud of it. If you don't like it, click dislike, all right? So first off, the first thing that really got me thinking about it was the Cavalier Knights from Core 2020. So I thought it'd be really cool to have all of these guys out in one deck, and it just fits so well with his theme of multicolor, and they're just gorgeous cards, and just having them all in one place is just really cool, I think. And then to complement them, some cool knights, the Cool Knight crew, the Knights of Ren, had an especially awesome time with Sir Conrad yesterday, where it was just piling people in the graves, and every time it was doing hits. And then I thought it'd be cool to have sort of these two, Sylvia Brightspear and Corvath Brightflame, as a sort of a segue into the knight and dragon sort of dynamic. And here we have our dragons. Well, all that's fit to print. I especially think that these two are really cool just because they get that sort of chromatic, all the colors that Kenrith brings to the table. And especially, I think tech, I just want to point out, is so cool because we have all these colors. This is a deck that is around dragons, and it's got all those colors. Cool. And yeah, we got a Bolus there too as a planeswalker. To help our knights and dragons into battle, well, you want to get Embercleave in there. You just do. It's just so powerful, so sudden. And once it gets out there, it is just spanking all over town. You won't believe it. Really a big fan of this little number, Scyther the Wretched from Mirrodin. I just think it's cool because you get in control and you're bringing more people to the table. Colossus Hammer. I was thinking about taking Sir Gwyn of Asheville and putting her in here, which would make Colossus Hammer or something. We'll see if I end up adding her. Maybe Corval too. We got the brawls, so maybe they should be added as well. And that would be really awesome for, of course, Heartseeker, which has been blowing up. Since there's not a lot of counters, I thought Solemnity would be a nice touch. I'm sorry if this is not focusing proper. And I really like also Web of War. Web of War is going to give everybody a +2 and gives them haste whenever they come into play. I think that's awesome. Bel's Portal, choose a type and get people out there. And Masterworks to make a copy of any equipment, which is helpful. Of course, a key part of having all the colors is just getting that mana. So you can have lots and lots and lots and lots of ways to get mana, especially like Crystal Quarry one just for the art. Look at that pretty crystals there. And it can give you, if you pay into it, you get every color. That is options, people, options. I think Unclaimed Territory is cool because you pick your creature type and you get any color. I think it's a really underused, undervalued card. Dragon Horde to get us the dragons. All my cards come with glare, which is really an important part of the deck. It makes it hard for your opponents to read them. Scapeshift. Why? You guessed it, because if you need to swap out those lands and just try to get a better chance at something, boom, Scapeshift. Terrain Generator, awesome card. You can swap out your lands and pop them in there. Sorry, not swap out, you can just throw them out there and you're beefing up your land count in a big way. Heraldic Banner from the new set Eldraine, I thought that was cool. Vesuvia, to be able to copy any kind, is super helpful in a deck like this where you just need to like get certain colors to complete and make things happen. And Trace of Abundance, just an awesome little attachment. You get a little extra land there. And just a little bonus, I did some of our chromatic options. I still haven't Door to Nothingness anyone, but I think that time will come, and I pity them already. So that's it for Kenrith. This is the squad. And now let's talk.
So now I'm in control, and I am panning you over to look at Alela, the Artful Provocateur. So, her main perks here are that she is flying, having Death Touch and Lifelink. Other creatures that I control with flying get a 1/0, and whenever you cast an artifact or enchantment, create a 1/1 blue fairy creature token with flying. So her main thing is I'm going to make lots of tokens and try to make them more powerful since a lot of them are very cheap. So she is in charge. And then we move to artifact creatures, which are super neat because every time I put down a creature, they are going to be also creating a 1/1 blue fairy token that becomes a 2/1 just by virtue of being a blue fairy with Alela in charge. So some of these are very beautiful. My favorites are this Aura Thief right here, just because when it goes into the graveyard, you control all enchantments, which can turn a game around because then you just get a bunch more blue fairies if you have Alela in play. And then Stonecoil Serpent is also very fun, just because it has crazy abilities like Reach, Trample, Protection for multicolored, which would be great against Brennan's deck. And also because I can put however many counters on it, and you'll see why having that possibility to put a lot of mana into it will be great because of the deck, the way this one has been put together. So then we also have more flyers over here. These are not artifact creatures, these are fairies specifically. And so we have some beauties here, all flying at you, with my favorite being the controversial Hushbringer over here, because I'm personally an artist and I think this is art. I think this counts. Easily could be in a gallery. Do you see this? Also, Brennan pointed out that it's not just one mouth, but two mouths, and then a bunch of tiny mouths. I understood this part, but then also the tree overlay that's in there. It just has so much going on, and compositionally, I'm a fan. So there's that, aside from the actual gameplay aspect of it. And the one next to it, Misbind Click, I appreciate the champion of fairy and it having flash. So since I have such cheap expendable tokens that are being created at every turn, essentially, I can champion a fairy and just have somebody who's being attacked just replaced with a 4/4 fairy instead. So that's a fun surprise to pull. Then we have the two non-flying creatures or non-fairy creatures, the Mirror Entity and the Magus of the Moat. Brennan, do you want to talk about the Mirror Entity since you had used this one before?
You can describe what is there.
All right. Well, he's a changeling, and that's fun. That's what I got. He, yes, please tell me.
Sure. He is cool because, get this, you got little baby fairies, and they're all a bunch of little baby fairies. Boom, you pump them up. You fill them up, you juice them up with that sweet mana steroids. Oh my god, look at those fairy muscles. Oh my god, ouch. They're gonna come at you, and now they're like super beefy and nasty little fairies. What a good day.
Thank you kindly for that, that guest appearance. Yes. All right, so then I'm gonna show you just how much that is of creatures here. Is this much with this pumpkin Brennan involved. But then also here we go for the amount of enchantments and artifacts we have. So visually you can just see how much we have going on here to play with. So
that's artifacts and enchantments.
yes, because every single time, yeah, I'll go into why exactly we have this kind of balance spatially and compositionally here for how many there are. So we have this beautiful Banshee's Blade, we have Farsight Mask, and Rogue's Gloves. A lot of these are equipment I'm showing you first as artifacts. So remember, every single time I put down any of these cards I'm going to show you from now on, they're all going to create a 1/1 blue fairy. And they can make it that much more powerful. This specifically is my favorite combo to make here because all permanents are artifacts in addition to their other types. So that means that when I put this out in combination with this card that is right next to it, Equipoise, during your upkeep, for each land target player controls in excess of the number of lands you control, target land he or she controls phases out. Repeat this process for artifacts and then for creatures. So no one can get ahead of the game for how many of each type I control. And that is really fun to get out right out the starting gates. Brennan has a visceral reaction every time he sees this card.
You got it in the starting hand, like every game.
Yeah, it's been great. This card just loves me. I just, whenever I shuffle, I send a secret wish up for this card. So, yeah, this card kept Brennan last time at 2 lands for the whole game because I had cards like this one, Arcane Signet, because I had plenty of artifacts that again gave me more fairies every time I played them and also allowed for me to have plenty access to mana without using my lands. So having these two together and then having this kind of changes it up to the point where if all the artifacts are if every card is an artifact, then no one can have more total cards than I can. So if I have 13 cards, everyone else can only have 13. No more, but some less.
No more.
Yeah. So, and then also it has all cards that aren't in play. Spells and permanents are colorless, and you can spend mana as if it were mana of any color. So it makes it a little bit more interesting still for other players as well, since they're still getting limited, but they have a little bit more options for spending. So then, I'll just peek at all the other ones that I have over here for more artifacts before we go into enchantments. And look how beautiful the Jinx Choker is, and sexy. And Lich's Mirror. I think that I'll go back to these two really quickly just because Nettlevine Blight plus the Jinx Choker are both spells that I can just attach to my opponent and will be pretty much devastatingly crippling. So it's wonderful. I love those kinds of cards. So we'll keep moving through. So now we are going through some enchantments. And so I will talk about my favorite enchantments from here after breezing through them real quick. So these enchantments, Revenge of Ravens is going to have everyone lose a life when they are attacking me or Planeswalker, and I would gain a life. So just like tiny little nicks being done there. Same thing with the Underworld Dreams. Whenever somebody draws a card, they also deal damage. And then going to like pair that with this combo that I really enjoy. Divine Visitation and Angelic Chorus. So for Angelic Chorus, whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain life equal to its toughness. So great because I'm always pumping up more fairies that are 1/1s, and that's going to give me some more life. But also when I pair that with Divine Visitation, if one or more creature tokens would be created under your control, you can have a 4/4 white angel. So I gain that much more life. And casting both of these inherently makes another blue fairy. So I'm just gaining lots of life, especially also if I have another opportunity here with Luminarch Ascension to make more 4/4 white angel creatures with flying. So then I'll just breeze through these other enchantments that we have included in this deck. Beautiful, beautiful. Also, Karmic Justice is just gorgeous. And from there, we have the beautiful and shining Tezzeret, Master of the Bridge, and Tezzeret, the Seeker. Both these planeswalkers are based in artifacts and helping out just casting more and more fairies and gaining life from them or putting more artifacts onto them and make them stronger. So, there we are.
So, if you're wondering which is the deck, I don't know how this is gonna look, which is the deck to play, we'll post a deck list, but I think the results are in. And we played, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 games. I played the first with the Alela, and Abby's helmed it for like 7 or so games. Unstoppable, absolutely unstoppable. This deck that's been put together is just something else.
Yeah, I'm doing 87% wins.
Yeah, it hurts. That Equipoise is devastated over and over again. The only time that I actually beat it with the Kenrith. So, I mean, if you like that cool jank and the cool thing, and it might be a problem of land draws, I have just had the most awful land draws. Or I would have the land and she would Equipoise it, and I couldn't.
Bye.
It was useless.
It was great.
It was bye-bye.
Wonderful.
The only time I won was when I got Embercleave out. Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ouch. Ouchies.
Yeah.
So I recommend the Embercleave.
Especially with Flash. It wasn't fun.
Yeah, it wasn't fun.
That was Ember Clever of you.
It was fun. That was fun.
Yeah.
That was fun. So that's all that we have today.
Thanks for watching.
We'll be back.
Tune in later.
Wherever we are. Whoever we are.
Whoever we are.
Whoever
This is
we are.
this is Girlfield signing off.
This is John Arbucks. We'll put those deck lists up for you too.
This is Brennan.
Love and subscribe.
Happy Halloween.
Click.